So what you want to do is to look at this triangle I'm going to sketch there. You see the triangle in pink?
Yes.
And the angle there is theta. So if I'm using, I will start from Toa. What would sine theta be? Opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite is y. The hypotenuse is 1. You happy with that?
Yeah.
So that would be y over 1, which is just saying y. So sine theta is y.
Yeah.
So now you tell me, what will cos theta be?
It would be the x over 1.
I just said our hypotenuse. That's beautiful. Beautiful. And x over 1 is just x. And what would tan theta be?
It would be y over x.
Opposite over adjacent, y over x. Now, when you look at those three, if we replace y with sine theta, and we replace x with cos theta, because we know from the y is sine theta and x is cos theta. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we can have our first identity. Tan theta, 1, 2, 3, is identical to sine theta over cos theta. That 3 lines, you know what it stands for?
Yes. It's the same as.
Okay. And the best word for it, identical to. That 3 lines means when it's identical, that means the answer is the same for everything. If you use 10 degrees for theta, the answers will be the same. If you use 25 degrees, it will be the same. 2 million degrees is the same. It's identical for everything. It is different from equal to. Equal to means the things are the same. It could be the same for everything. It could only be the same for one thing. Like you're equal to everybody in your class because you're in the same class, but you are all in different height. And there's other one which is approximate. Approximately equals to. Approximately equal to. Do you know the symbol for that one?
It's the curved lines.
Yes, the two like that. So those 3 symbols, you see them in maths. And we always use equal to because that's the most common one. So now you know one identity there, this one. This is called an identity, which you must learn that and memorize it. Another identity from that triangle there, you remember Pythagoras?
Yes.
Perfect. What's the Pythagoras formula? What does it say?
A squared plus b squared equals c squared.
Beautiful. So in this case, we can call the c squared to be 1 is equal to a squared plus b squared. So that means x squared plus y squared is equals to 1. You happy with that from that triangle?
Yes.
X squared plus y squared equals to 1. Your name is spelled NGO. How do you pronounce it?
Knock.
Lock.
Yeah.
There's 2 names. I just call it, there's another name, NGUYEN. Okay,
that's just my surname.
Okay, I'll just call you Lock. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, x squared plus y squared equals to 1. You happy with that, Lock?
Yeah.
Now, we replace x. We want to replace this x. What can we replace x with? Look from the top where we started.
cos theta.
Yes, replace x with cos theta. But because it's cos theta squared, can you see the x squared?
Yes.
Because cos x, let me write this there on the side because that sometimes gives problems. Cos theta is the same as x. So cos theta squared is the same as x squared.
Yep.
And sometimes they write it as cos squared theta is the same as x squared. So they're all the same. Sometimes you write it with a bracket and sometimes write like that. So we can write this one as cos theta squared plus, replace y with sine theta squared. Now we will say it's identical to 1. But instead of writing the bracket, we always use the shorthand way, cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is identical to 1. So this is the next identity which you need to learn and memorize. 70% of A-level maths is what you remember. And the way you remember them is by doing lots of examples. Now, we can rearrange this now to get cos squared theta. Cos squared theta is equals to 1 minus sine squared theta. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And sine squared theta is 1 minus cos squared theta. And from this, we can also write cos theta is square root of 1 minus sine squared theta. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And sine theta is square root of 1 minus cos theta. Everything on this page, the two formulae in yellow is the one you must remember. And the other ones, you can get them from those two. Okay, if you write this down or the main thing down, and then when you finish, you can move on and start using it.